So, coming to the favorite part of filmmaking and photography, gears. कोई भी फिल्म मेकर, कोई भी फोटोग्राफर का ये फेवरेट टॉपिक है. टॉकिंग अबाउट हिज गियर्स, हिज इक्विपमेंट्स. Any photographer, any filmmaker loves to talk about his gears and equipments and endlessly can keep on talking about the gears and the gadgets. So this is the favorite part and this is my favorite video on my channel. I'm all pumped up, charged up to talk about gears and equipments. For any YouTuber or a filmmaker or a photographer, this is supposed to be a what's in my camera bag video. But I don't use any camera bag whatsoever, a conventional camera bag so to speak. I generally use a sling bag. I put in all my camera gears, my lenses, and go and put the other bulky things onto the rear seat of my car and go for my shoots and assignments. The primary camera, the main camera that I'm using for photography as well as filmmaking is this Adox Golf 63, the 1955 German-made Adox Golf 63. I'm sure you got it. And you're right, I'm kidding. Before I get into my camera setup and start talking about my gadgets and my equipments, let's roll the intro first. First things first, this is not a sponsored video. I'm in no way associated or affiliated with any of these brands which I would be mentioning in this video. Neither do they pay me for saying anything about their products and gears. The opinions expressed in this video is exclusively mine, based on my usage, my experience, and my understanding of the equipments that I use. This isn't a sponsored video. So talking about gears and gadgets, मैं उन लोगों में से नहीं हूँ कि बहुत ज़्यादा एक्सपेंसिव या बहुत फैंसी गैजेट्स और गैजेट फ्रीक हूँ. आई एम वेरी बजट कॉन्शियस, आई एम वेरी कंजर्वेटिव व्हेन इट कम्स टू चूजिंग एंड पिकिंग गियर्स एंड स्पेंडिंग मनी ऑन इट. आज जो मैं बात कर रहा हूँ अपने कैमरा सेटअप के बारे में, ये भी बहुत बजट है. बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ एक्सपेंसिव फैंसी गियर्स आपको देखने को नहीं मिलेगा, क्योंकि मुझे लगता है कि फिल्म मेकिंग या फोटोग्राफी गियर्स से नहीं होता है. आप कुछ भी एक्सपेंसिव गियर्स और कैमराज यूज कर लो, इफ यू आर नॉट गुड इनफ, देयर इज नो पॉइंट वेस्टिंग मनी और स्पेंडिंग मनी ऑन गैजेट्स एंड गियर्स. नो एक्सपेंसिव गियर्स ऑन गैजेट्स और इक्विपमेंट्स कैन मेक यू अ बेटर photographer or a filmmaker. The primary camera which I use for all my paid jobs, photography as well as filmmaking, is the Canon 80D. It has a 24.2 megapixel APS-C sensor. This is the second generation of dual pixel APS-C sensors from Canon, and the first being the 7TD. This is a beast of a camera. Its autofocus is tremendous. It has a 3-point autofocus system that is very good. That is quite impressive. To make a focus pulling easier, it has a one-touch setting that is so precise and so easy to simply tap on the screen and focus. The ISO performance is not that great. It lacks a higher dynamic range, but the time lapse is so simple. It doesn't shoot 4K. That's a lapse. It doesn't have a flat log picture profile. People keep talking about Canon 80 being heavy and bulky compared to the other mirrorless cameras like the Sonys and the Fujis. But I prefer the bulkiness, the heaviness, because I don't use any sort of gimbals or stabilizers. So the bulkiness and the heaviness gives me an added advantage of the steadiness of the shot. And the most important thing about Canon is the Canon functions are so easy to operate. It's so easy, and the battery life is good for Canon 80D. It has improved a lot from its previous versions and all. It also has a recording limit of 30 minutes, which is a bit annoying at times. And this is how I rig it up when I use for all my video shoots for my filmmaking process. I don't know if you can call this a rig or something, but it's something which I have been using for quite some time. The other camera that I have and use not as frequently as my Canon 80D is this one, the Canon EOS 1200D. This is a basic entry-level DSLR. Nothing compared to the Canon 80D. This is specially for taking the different angle shots from multiple cams, multiple angle shots, especially during interviews and all, when you need another angle to shoot. So this comes in quite handy. This is not a great camera as you can see, but this is the entry level and does serve my purpose. Most important thing is this is also from Canon, so I can shift lenses from one another, and that's quite useful for me. The other camera that I own and use and carry it all the time is this one, the Canon SX740HS. This is a point and shoot camera from Canon and I carry it everywhere. It's a very good habit for any filmmaker photographer to carry a point and shoot camera along with you, and it comes in quite handy all the time. And the most interesting part is this can even shoot 4K videos. So these were the 3 cameras that I own and carry and use all the time and take along with me for all my assignments, all my paid jobs, and everywhere I go. So now coming to the lenses, I'll start right off with this lens. This is my go-to lens, the Canon 24mm 2.8 lens. This is one gem of a lens and I use all the time. For all my shoots, I'll have this on my Canon 80D, and this serves my purpose. For most of my filmmaking assignments, I'll have this one as my prime lens on my Canon 80D. This is a magic lens and I love everything about it. It's fast, it's sharp and delivers all the time. And the next lens that I have with me and that I own and use often is this one, the Canon EF 18-135mm. This is also a very fantastic lens. This might not be as fast as the 2.8 24mm, but this has the flexibility of that zoom. I can zoom in from 118 to 135. That is quite useful for the close-up shots that I often need. People keep talking about the 1.4s, the 1.8s, the 2.8s, but nobody talks about this lens, which I find is a fantastic lens. It's on the heavier side, it's a bit bulky, but I love using this lens and it delivers all the time. So these are the 2 lenses that I keep using all the time. The other camera which I keep with me all the time and carry along with me is this one. This is the Hero GoPro 7 Black. This is quite a small beast. This comes in quite handy and useful for times where the bigger and the bulkier the SLRs cannot reach, but this I can put it somewhere and I get the beautiful shots. I carry this all the time along with me, thrown somewhere in one of my bags. कैमरा और लेंस तो हो गया, तो अब बात करते हैं छोटा छोटा चीज़. Now coming to the smaller things those are so useful all the time, like the extra few batteries that I carry for my 80D as well as my 1200D. I carry this black and green pouch that you must have seen in my other video. This I carry all the time, which carries all my HDMI cables, my data cables, my extra batteries, my extra SD cards, everything, every small things, all my accessories for my cameras. And this black green pouch is something that I will always carry with me and will have this very small but very important things along with my camera and my lenses. About other things that I own and use and carry would be a pair of these lapel microphones from Ahuja. I own a couple of these for my interviews and all. The other microphone that I use and carry with me, and especially for my vlogs, is this one, on which I'm currently shooting right now, is the Boya BY-MM1. So these are the cameras, the lenses and the accessories that I own and carry with me all the time on all my assignments, be it films, be it photography, I carry all the time and use it all the time. Coming to the things that I use but I don't own on a regular basis would be a couple of lenses, like a Tokina 11 to 16 2.8 lens. The other one would be the Canon 16 to 35 L series lens. So these would be lenses that I often use but don't own, but get it on rent for all my assignments. So this was my camera setup and equipment that I own and use all the time. As you must have seen, it's sort of a budget and very conservative gears that I use. People who know me, they know that I am very conservative in my approach when it comes to spending on gears. I would love to hear from your side about the gears you love using, about the gears you use, or any comments regarding the gears I use, about the things that you feel that I need to change or shift or switch. I would love to hear from you. Any recommendations, any suggestions regarding my gear or my setup, or any feedback from your end, I would love. Please write it down in my comment section below, and please connect on my Instagram, that is Instagram @2wheeltales. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So that was all for this video. Please take care and see you. Goodbye.